Hey everybody, it's me, MikeD57s. I apologize for this coming in really late. I've been really busy with school and stuff. But I'll tell you, the school for me has actually been getting really good, and I'm really enjoying it. But anyways, enough of that. I'll explain another time. Now I'm finally here to talk about the new Thomas the Tank Engine special, King of the Railway. Alright. Yeah, I'm so glad I finally got to this, even though I just want to point out, there are a few people who asked me questions of this on my Q&A video, which I posted back in May, but oh well. Here's what I'm going to say, we'll get on to that another time, but right now, let's get rolling. I'm going to split this into 3 parts, so bear with me here. Alright, so here's the plot synopsis. Synopsis. Alright, the story is, a man named Sir Robert Narromby, who is also known as the Earl of the Island of Sodor, has been away for so many years because he's been searching for a lot of treasures all over the world. Yeah, as well as, a lot of artifacts, that kind of stuff. So he hires Thomas, Percy, and James to help him rebuild Ulfstead Castle, which is the main reason of why he was away for so many years. And along the way, they meet a couple of other new characters. A French navigator engine named Millie. And, of course, Stephenson's rocket. No, seriously, it is. Yep, Stephenson's rocket. Yeah, so basically, the engines are trying their best. Yeah, so basically, Thomas, Percy, and James are trying their best to help get Ulfstead Castle prepared for the day it's going to be, opened up for, the grand opening. But at the same time, there's also another subplot that Stephenson's rocket in this, who, of course, in this movie is known as Stephen, is really upset because he thinks he may not be special anymore. Even though the fact that Sir Robert actually has a job for him, a special job for him, regarding Ulfstead Castle. But Thomas, who was supposed to keep this a secret, just wanted to cheer him up anyway. So, it pretty much screws up from there. But also, there's another subplot even revolving around the rivalry between Gordon and Spencer, where they meet 2 other new streamlined engines. A blue one named Connor, and a pink one named Caitlin. Pink or red violet? Whatever that shade is. Alright. So, yeah. So, what can I say about King of the Railway? This movie is awesome. I'm not gonna lie. It's awesome, and I'm not really being biased. This is one of the best Thomas movies out there. Hell, I think the best of the best. Hell, in all honesty, I think this is even better than Blue Mountain Mystery. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love Blue Mountain Mystery, but King of the Railway, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'll say it anyway. This is the better Thomas movie so far. And this brings us to the main subject of this part of the review. Andrew Brenner's writing. Yep. After many years of complaints of, Sharon Miller's writing of making the show way too kid-friendly and also a little stupid, well, actually, really stupid, in terms that this could disable a lot of young children, but also disappointment to the fans, and Entertainment just finally saw the error of their ways. Well, actually, they just realized their mistakes. Oh my god, what am I saying? That's just the same thing, sorry. So they finally decided that in 2010 to bring in a new head writer, Andrew Brenner. Now, Andrew Brenner has actually worked on the Thomas series before. Well, not on the show, but has actually worked on the magazine stories back in the late 80s and early 90s. One of them being Henry's Forest, which is an episode that Reverend Audrey hated, but I loved. And I gotta say, Andrew Brenner, he really did a good job. He did all his research. He knew everything. He knows what the fans want to see. Hell, I can actually say this right now. He must have really been having a lot of fun with this. I'm not gonna lie. I think he really had a lot of fun with this movie. Everything with the characters and the voice acting, the story, the plot, animation. Oh my god, Andrew Brenner, thank you. I mean, he brought Thomas back to the way it was. And not only for just the classic series, but way, way back. All the way... Oh, here's what I'm seeing now. All the way to the Railway series, yeah. I actually consider this King of the Railway and Season 17 of Thomas to be the modern-day Railway series, or hell, the modern-day classic series. Why? Well, like I said, it just feels like you're watching it. I mean, hell, I actually feel like a kid again, except, different now with all these, modern-day, children's show, like, directions, whatever it's called. I mean, everything. I mean, like, I don't even care now if the models do come back. I mean, so far, the CGI is actually kicked up. And oh, yeah, I'll get to the animation in a sec. But I gotta say, everything. I mean, Andrew Brenner must have really been having a lot of fun with this movie. I'm really serious. I mean, everything. And when I mean he's having a lot of fun, also because the movie is not only historical and not only accurate to the show, but also hilarious. No, really. He actually attempts comedy, and the majority of the jokes in this movie hit bullseyes. Some of my favorite jokes in this movie will actually be where Henry and Emily meet Stephen for the first time. And they're like, what are you doing up there? They're turning me into an airplane. Really? No! They're just checking my undercarriage. That was so funny. Oh, and another scene is where Gordon, Edward, and Toby come into the Steamworks. In that same scene later, where they all try to make up excuses when Victor shows up, but Toby's the only one who's being completely honest. And I'm not lying. I mean, there's a lot of really funny jokes in this. And of course, majority of them actually would revolve around Stephen, who's a really funny character. But we'll get to the characters in part 2. I mean, Andrew Brenner got everything. I actually give him credit for even the history lessons too, yeah. There are 2 history lessons. One history lesson, which is actually about Sodor's history, or Sudrian, or yeah, like that's the ethnicity of the name of the island of Sodor. That back on, ancient Sodor, there was a man, well, I wouldn't say ancient, but medieval Sodor, actually. Back in medieval Sodor, period, alright. Back in medieval Sodor, there actually was a man named King Godred. And, I can't really remember how it exactly went. Oh, and yeah, another thing, this is going to be filled with spoilers, so, yeah, just like the Blue Mountain Mystery review, don't watch all parts of this review unless you've watched the whole movie. Yeah. Alright, so basically he lost his crown, which is actually what Sir Robert Norby was actually looking for in the first place. Oh, just ignore that. That's just my dad. Alright, so... yeah, that's pretty much the case in this movie. Yeah, like, his crown was lost, was never seen again, and in this day, we have trains. Yeah, railway engines. Yep, so that's pretty much that. It covers that, mostly. And another example, I mean, the last history lesson we're given is by Stephen, of how steam engines were first new at the time. I mean, one steam engine, oh my god, yeah, and guys, I apologize for my jumbled speech, or, me stuttering. But like I said, I mean, I have autism, and I just have trouble, so, yeah, that's another thing, guys, just please, at least be patient with me. I'm gonna try, folks. I'm gonna try real hard, okay? Alright. Like, the next history lesson by Stephen is when steam engines were first new at the time. Of course, it was accurate. It was really true that back then, railways first used to be run by a horse and carriage. No trains. Nope. It was until then, steam engines were being used as experiments at the time, and Stephen was one of them. And so far he was successful. He used to pull 4 wagons at a time, and of course, what's very true is that Stephen also used to break a speed record back then, and of course was known as, you guessed it, the Rocket. Yeah. I could tell that Andrew Brenner also must have been probably even referencing this to the Railway Series book, Thomas Goes to York, where Thomas, well, doesn't interact with Stevenson's rocket. You see him next to Stevenson's rocket on the book cover. And, yeah. You know, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, so Andrew Brunner, I gotta say, did a really good job. I mean, everything he added in. Like, the locations are the same. Even some new locations he added, like Ulfstead Castle. I mean, wow. I mean, he did a really good job. And it's funny, too, because he also worked on Blue Mountain Mystery along with Sharon Miller, which would explain of why part of the movie was awesome, but also part of Blue Mountain Mystery was a little bit cliched because Sharon Miller was still writing. But thanks to Dan Coffey, aka the Coffee Reviewer, or Buster the Steamroller, who I also give credit to, thanks man, that Sharon Miller really is an intelligent person, and I agree, like, maybe she thought that this was a children's show. She must have taken it seriously, that, you know, to make Thomas, well, kid-friendly and stuff. And, yeah, you know what? I can understand. So, also, this is, the video, my review basically is a big thank you to Andrew Brenner, but also to Sharon Miller. I know you've written some really terrible episodes, and I really want to know why the episodes you wrote weren't that good, no offense, but I apologize for, you know, the criticisms I did give you, but sorry to say, those episodes you did write, are still really, really bad. But I do apologize for, you know, it's the past, yeah, I gotta move on. The past is the past, and you gotta, you know, focus on the future, just today. And, of course, like, that we all make mistakes, yeah. So I'm just glad, you know, that Dan Coffey actually was able to point it out. Thanks. And now we'll get to another part in this review, and that is the fact that we have a new narrator, yeah. So now that I'm done covering up Andrew Brenner's writing, we have a new narrator to the Thomas series. Michael Angelis and Michael Brandon are gone. So now we have a new narrator named Mark Moraghan. This guy is awesome. I mean, seriously. Now, I had a question answered for this on my Q&A, but, oh well, I'm going to spoil him anyway. Mark Moraghan really does a good job narrating, though he's not as good as George Carlin was, or Ringo Starr, but I would say he's my third favorite. But, again, Mark Moraghan is awesome. I mean, what I would have loved to heard is how Mark Moraghan would also, you know, done his own impersonation of the characters in the Thomas series. Yeah, that's just me. That's just my perspective. I mean, it would be cool, though. I mean, he's not only in real life an actor, he's also a singer, too. And I mean, I heard a song of his, and I gotta say, his singing voice is really good. I mean, it also seems to me that Mark Moraghan must have been having he must have really been having a lot of fun with this, too, as much as Andrew Brenner was. Unlike some narrators, Alec Baldwin. Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, Mark Moraghan, good job, and thank you. Oh, and also thank you, Andrew Brenner, for making all this, making this movie, and for writing for Season 17. You, man, are awesome. I mean, good luck with the rest of, you know, Thomas's future and stuff. Alright, so, guys, stay tuned for Part 2, where I will be talking about the characters, and I think possibly the voice acting. We'll see. So, stay tuned, guys. Be right back.